Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a massage therapist student at Aveda, the Institute of Beauty and Wellness. And the graduation date for us is January 18th, 2022, and I am interested in your massage therapist position. So the first question, share with me a time you were busy at work, school, or your plate was full and yet you went above and beyond to help someone else. So I can think of a time that happened more recently. Being a receptionist at a retirement home, I'm able to use the afternoon hours when everyone's kind of asleep to do some homework and study, which is really nice. And on one of these nights, I was studying for an exam actually we were going to have one day, and a couple comes down to me and the wife seems very confused. Ultimately, she was showing early signs of dementia, but it was the first time that they have come to us, or at least me at the front desk, for help. They were very private about everything, and the husband is basically the caretaker, so they take care of everything on their own, never include our nursing services. So we had no idea that she was going through this. But mind you, this is at like 9:30 p.m. There's no one else but me and two CNA staff. So they were both dealing with an emergency pendant going off to make sure that the residents over there were okay, that didn't actually need help. They need to go to the rooms. So I had to attend to the resident that came down asking for help. She couldn't recognize her husband in terms of him being the caretaker. And so I just went into just connect, just wanting to connect with her and figure out what was going on in her mind, and being able to just converse with her in a way that invited her to share what she was thinking, because she kept repeating that she didn't feel safe, or she didn't feel that she could trust her husband Paul. And so I was kind of just trying to find out why she couldn't trust him, or talk to her basically about how she was feeling, what made her feel apprehensive about going back up to the apartment. For the night at least, so we could have nursing staff check on her the next morning. And the son was on the phone the entire time, and I'm talking to her. I finally get her to trust me, and she was like, okay, if you come up with me and get me to bed, then I will stay up there with Paul. So I, of course, went up with her. I took a CNA with me once she was available, and the husband, of course, and got her ready for bed and took care of her. And even though I was studying or doing other things on my own, I of course dropped it and dealt with whatever she needed at the moment. And for me, that was just so fulfilling to know that she trusted me enough to go back up to her apartment with someone that she was on edge about. So with the help of her husband and the son and the CNA, we were able to get her to sleep and, ready for the next day, at least to look forward to talking to nursing staff. Next question. Share a time when you have made a mistake. What happened? So there was this one time in this past winter, actually, and it was a really, really cold night. It was one of our coldest nights that winter. There was this gentleman, older guy. He came in through our front doors, and they're locked at night, so I have to manually turn a sensor on, so when they walk towards the door, it unlocks and they can come in. And so I did that when he came near the door. I'm thinking it's someone coming in to visit one of the residents just late, because that does happen. And so I sat him down because he seemed kind of wobbly. He was walking a little funny, and his speech was slurring. So I sat him down and I was kind of just talking to him, trying to figure out, one, who he was here to see, and if I could help in any way. And turns out he was coming from the hospital. We are not even half a block from the St. Mary's Hospital on the east side. So he had come walking from the hospital thinking he's going home, but he forgot how to get there. So he came up the nearest walkway, which was our building for him. And I come to find out that he's under the influence and he is not getting where he's at or how far he is from home. So thankfully, a maintenance guy was still there with me, and he was able to help me out to at least get him out the door and get a ride. We were able to open his phone and contact a family for him, so they were able to get him. But it was, I guess, something that shouldn't have happened in terms of me being the one to open the door. So I should have waited for him to get closer to the phone that we have on the side of the door on their end, where they're able to call the front desk basically, and I can see them at the door and then just communicate through the phone to ensure that they're coming to see a visitor and not just be coming in for a warm space. Even though it was a mistake letting him in, I still kind of feel it was just in me to be like, okay, take a minute to be in a warm spot so you don't get frostbite, because it was that cold. But in terms of the safety of the residents, that's why I made sure to be with him and not leave him alone at any time, and make sure we're close to the door in case I need to radio maintenance and just have them escort him out. So basically that's what happened. We just did it in a more caring way and make sure that he doesn't get hurt, and also doesn't get hurt in our premises. So I learned how to be better with security on that. The next question, over the past year, what skills have you been working on and what areas have you been focused on improving or developing? I think the past year I have been focusing a lot on patience and communication skills. I've already been a huge stickler for communication skills, but it's also, if you preach it, you got to do it. So it's just learning more on how to communicate to the right people and just practicing those words, the vocabulary that you need to use with different people. If I'm talking to a resident, I'm talking to them in a certain way. If I'm talking to my coworker, I'm talking to them in a certain way. And if I'm communicating with the CEO of our retirement home, I'm talking to him in a certain way. So just being able to adapt to those people and the relationships that you have with them and be able to communicate appropriately has been a great learning experience for me and growth in that aspect. And then also patience. I work with the older adults, so they have very little of it. So I've been trying to, be that calm, be that peace for them in a chaotic or anxiety-provoking situation for them. And it usually works. It helps to bring them down from wherever they are. And then they trust me because I'm providing that calmness. I'm being that safe space for them. They trust me to take care of whatever problem that they're having and know that I can handle it because I am so calm when I talk to them or when they come to me with a problem. So that has been really good to learn because it really has helped also with interpersonal skills and just being able to communicate with people in the way that they need in order to feel safe and comfortable around you. The next question, share with me a time when you joined a team. What was the experience like and what did you do to gain the respect of your new team members? I would have to say a time that really sticks out to me is when I first started the receptionist job at my current job. I came in starting full-time day shift in the summer for maternity leave. So I was for sure going to be there 3 months. So it was a little intimidating for other people in the departments that I've never really worked with. So I had only picked up a couple of evening shifts before I started the summer period. And I mean, working PM, you don't work with the management. You don't work with everyone who's there during the day, right? So for me, it was a learning curve too to be contacting and in communication with so many different people. I mean, you're the front desk. Everyone expects you to know what the heck is going on in this place. So being able to gain those relationships so people can feel comfortable coming to you, and especially when it comes to bettering communication or changing something so it's more accessible to everybody, that was the biggest thing. So I came in, wanting to, I guess, be cool or just feel comfortable and have others feel comfortable with me. But I think that confidence and being able to talk to anybody intimidated a couple of my coworkers. And they are about 20-25 year difference from me. So it was interesting because I was able to see that we do things differently in terms of work or managing and organizing. So it was a learning curve for all of us to kind of see what is more beneficial with me coming in now, the changes that I'm making, what's going to work best to continue creating a space at work that is smooth, efficient, and consistent enough for the residents so they also don't get thrown off. Because especially with older adults, I've noticed that consistency is the most important thing. If you change one thing up, it's chaos. So you want to find a way to make everything as smooth as possible. It helps us as employees, and it even helps the residents even more to know what to anticipate and to know what's going on. Tell me about a time that you questioned a process at work, and how did you address this? There was a point where we didn't have one place where we were all communicating, and there was a lot of information that was being slipped through just because you're counting on, a human passing on information from point A to point B, and it's going to be error. There's human error, of course, you have to consider. So it was finding a way to allow there to be the least amount of error as possible. So I communicated with my boss about this, and eventually we got to a point of figuring out we could use Teams to be able to all access this information, not just the front desk, but all departments be able to see this information. And it has worked. We've been using it since. But we use email, of course, but sometimes it's easier to just pop a update on the Teams and everyone can see it versus setting up a whole email. So it's been really beneficial, and it was because I spoke up about it. So that was good. Yes, so review 3 qualities that make you stand out as a candidate, and then give detail on how they can contact you. So 3 qualities that make me stand out. I would say, not all the words are escaping me. 3 qualities. Say empathetic, generous, and highly interpersonal. I feel that I can sense people's energy in a way that I can adjust myself to what they need. So if someone's coming to me with a lot of stress or anxiety, I've been able to, it's been a lot of practice, but I've been able to kind of channel this more peaceful mindset or just aura, and that energy really does bounce off to the other person, and they're able to get that and calm down a bit, and then be able to talk to me because they feel safe to do so. I'm really happy that people have told me that I just have that personality or have that openness that allows people to feel safe and want to tell me what's going on with them, or want to tell me a problem that they're going through, because they trust me to hear them out, and they also trust me in terms of work to handle it or to solve whatever problem they have, because I've been able to do so in the past. So I would say those are my 3 best qualities. So yeah, the best way to contact me would probably be through emailing or texting me at the number that I've included in the resume. I also have social media if you would like to check that out. My username for Instagram and Facebook is Cruise Kinesthetics. Yes, I would say email or phone number, texting would be the easiest way to contact me. Once again, thank you so much for sitting with me and having this interview. I'm really interested to see if there's something in the future for us. Thank you.